Jerry was just talking about your ability to throw the deep ball, what that does to the offense and opening things up. How much pride do you take in the ability to throw accurate deep ball, like we saw?
I just feel like it's just a throw. I just feel like it's a throw. I try to, anytime, we throwing the ball any distance, I want to complete it. And those been getting completed lately. But that don't mean that, I stopped working and I stopped doing everything just because we have some type of success with it. But you got to be better, well-rounded, all the way around. We can't just be a deep ball thrower. We got to be able to complete, the stuff when it's not there, when the deep ball not there. So,
like, subscribe and hit that bell.
I see, looking back, the game
I just got to play better. Yeah, I just cannot make those costly turnovers, and have the expectation to win.
How do you avoid the desire to maybe try to press and get back in when you guys fall behind? Anything to not do that? Showing somebody that you have admired over the years, what do you like about this game, and what are some things about this game that maybe you have tried to emulate?
Yeah, Josh Allen, he's a great player.
Shedeur finally addressed the noise surrounding his name, and the way he handled it said everything. In his latest interview, he stayed calm, confident, and unbothered. No excuses. No drama. Just belief in who he is as a player. Even when questions touched on Josh Allen and Jerry Jeudy, Shedeur never lost focus on his own journey. It was another reminder that he's wired differently. He stays grounded while standing firm, and that balance is exactly why he's quickly separating himself as a quarterback. When asked about his deep ball, he didn't hype it up or treat it like some special weapon. He brushed it off as simply making a throw. That response alone shows maturity and humility. He understands that stretching the field matters, but he also knows it's only one piece of the puzzle. Unlike players who chase highlight plays, Shedeur is locked in on becoming complete. He's working just as hard on the short throws, the tight window passes, and the plays that don't make headlines. That mindset is what separates players who flash for a season from those who last in this league. Shedeur doesn't dodge accountability either. He openly admits he has to be better and clean up mistakes that hurt the team. That's the mentality of a winner, someone who owns his performance instead of deflecting blame. When the team is down, he doesn't panic or try to play hero ball. He stays composed and sticks to the plan. That kind of poise is exactly what a locker room needs from its quarterback. Shedeur isn't chasing stats or attention. He's focused on winning, and he knows that comes from discipline and steady improvement. Meanwhile, Jerry Jeudy continues to be hyped by Browns media like he's some untapped answer. But Shedeur's responses reveal a much deeper understanding of football than anything Jeudy's words or on-field consistency show. Flashy catches mean nothing if you disappear when the game tightens up. Shedeur's emphasis on responsibility and balance highlights just how much more value he brings as the quarterback, the one seeing the entire picture while others are still catching up.
When teams are talked to Jerry about just the team's kind of showing you certain looks at the line of scrimmage, like a simulated blitz and drop into coverage. You always talk about your self-evaluation and trying to get better each week. Just how do you feel like you've got better at sort of diagnosing some of those things and recognizing some of those things pre-snap?
I think as weeks go on, I mean, you gotta understand, I'm comfortable under pressure. It's just we just gotta all be together. We gotta all, like, my whole career I played under pressure. Externally, on the field, off the field. Like, that stuff doesn't faze me. You get what I'm saying? It's just the only thing is we just gotta be able to make it translate. We all gotta be on one accord. We all gotta be, more of a team, when it comes to that. So, like, that it's just work in progress, and I'm excited about it.
Shedeur speaks with confidence and maturity when discussing pressure and growth. He openly acknowledges that recognizing complex looks, simulated pressure, shifting coverage, is still something he's developing, but he's comfortable operating under stress. More importantly, he understands that success isn't a solo effort. It requires communication, trust, and everyone executing together. That perspective shows he's not just focused on his own performance but on how the entire unit functions. His honesty reflects a player who is serious about improvement and committed to learning every single week. He knows football isn't about raw talent alone, it's about timing, chemistry, and everyone being aligned. And when Shedeur talks about the need for unity, it quietly highlights the problems Cleveland has faced, especially with players like Jerry Jeudy. Judy's inconsistency and dropped passes disrupt rhythm and put unnecessary pressure on the offense. While Shedeur embraces responsibility and pushes for togetherness, Judy's play often feels disconnected. If the Browns truly want to take a step forward, players like Judy have to match the focus, discipline, and maturity Shedeur is bringing. Right now, Shedeur is carrying far too much of the burden, and that's not a formula for long-term success unless others step up.
Finding a personal balance between building off of the things that you're succeeding in and some of those deep passes that make you feel confident, and then also looking at film and doing what you
Yeah.
trying to play.
Yeah, I just got to get more completions. You know, I got to get more completions. And even whenever we're down or anything, I can't press. You know, I just got to remain having those mental notes to myself. Just work within the game and just keep driving the ball, get first downs.
I know there. What do you think the difference is? You were the best at completing passes in Colorado, 70% plus. Is it just the difference in competition here, and defense is more sophisticated, or what do you count for your completion percentage?
I think I gotta complete the ball more, honestly.
Shedeur continues to show honesty and clarity when evaluating his own play. He knows improving starts with completing more passes and sustaining drives, and he doesn't shy away from that truth. No excuses. No deflection. That level of accountability is rare, especially for a young quarterback. He stays mentally disciplined, even when the team falls behind, refusing to force plays or abandon structure. His focus is on moving the chains, controlling the game, and doing the unglamorous work that leads to wins. He's not relying solely on deep shots or splash plays to define his value. He's grinding through every down, learning, adjusting, and growing. Meanwhile, Jerry Jeudy and Kevin Stefanski continue to fall short in supporting that growth. Judy's reputation hasn't matched his consistency, especially in high-pressure moments with Shedeur under center. Missed opportunities and unreliable play hurt the offense. On top of that, Stefanski's system feels outdated and rigid, offering little flexibility to help a developing quarterback. When a quarterback is asking for efficiency and rhythm, it's the coaching staff's job to build an offense that supports it. Right now, it feels like Shedeur is outworking the scheme around him, and that imbalance is holding the Browns back.
You talked about building trust with the guys. Is that an area where it can go kind of up and down through the season, where 1 week feels better, like you guys are on the same page, but it could dip the next week? Like, is it always going to be a work in progress?
No, it's always going to be a work in progress. It's relationships. All relationships ain't always the best, you know, but you still stick together through everything. So just because 1 week, you know, we're well connected, and the next week we're a bit off, that don't mean that we didn't have progress. You know, it's a lot of things in that game that there's positive things that we could take from that. You know, when it comes to trust, when it comes to different things, learning abilities, and just different things that different tasks take forward, like when the game happens. So every moment, you know, every rep, everything is extremely important on building our connection.
What's the gradient provider for teams when they bring the pressure? It seems to me like that's the game plan defensively against you. Like last week, Chicago, I think, came in like pressure maybe 30% of the time, and they dialed it up for you. So, like,
yeah.
As a quarterback, how do you neutralize that?
Well, I'm just excited that I'm able to get everybody's best. You know, I'm excited about that. You know, that makes me feel proud. You know that you know I have that. You know, I'm just getting in the league and my feet settled and everything, so I get excited knowing I'm able to face those challenges, because you gotta understand this year right here, this the worst it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this the foundation. This is what I'm building.
Shedeur also shows maturity when discussing trust within the locker room. He's realistic about the fact that relationships can fluctuate throughout a long season, but he understands growth isn't always linear. What matters is staying connected through adversity and using every practice, every rep, and every game to strengthen chemistry. That long-term mindset is exactly what a young NFL quarterback needs. When defenses bring pressure, Shedeur doesn't shy away from it. He embraces it. He sees it as proof that he's being tested and respected. He openly acknowledges that this season represents the toughest stage of the journey, the foundation phase where habits are built. That perspective shows resilience. Instead of frustration or finger-pointing, he welcomes the challenge and focuses on improving. That's leadership. That's maturity.
Shedeur, what would be a satisfactory completion percentage for you?
I mean, you can't. I'm not really looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the wins. You know, so that achieves everything. You know, I talked to Jameis like a couple weeks ago, and then he went crazy. He threw for some crazy yards, but he was like, "Nah, bro. Like, the most important thing is the wins. You know, and having that guidance, having that knowledge. You know, from a vet like him." It truly like helped me understand, you know, a little bit more, you know. I always knew, of course, winning, and that's the final goal. That's what everybody's in this league to do. So, you know, you just got to focus on that. And the more plays you stack, the more completions you rack up, the better chance you have at winning. So, have I been playing winning football lately? Nah, I don't think so. But it's something I have self-evaluated and
Shedeur shows real wisdom when explaining what truly matters in the NFL, winning games. Not stat lines. Not percentages. Wins. He makes it clear that numbers don't tell the full story, and conversations with veterans helped reinforce that truth. That shows his thinking beyond personal achievements and focusing on team success. At the same time, he's honest about where he stands. He admits he hasn't been playing winning football recently, and he owns that. No excuses. No blame. Just accountability and a commitment to get better. That combination of humility and drive is what allows players to evolve. So how many quarterbacks are willing to be that honest about their own shortcomings? And how many are willing to put in the work to turn those evaluations into results? Shedeur's focus on winning over stats speaks volumes about his character and the type of leader he's becoming. He continues to earn respect through his mindset and his approach. If you want more real analysis and honest takes, make sure to like and subscribe. What do you think? Is Shedeur the quarterback who can change the future of the Browns?